Hey there, YouTube. FrugalPrepper. Um, just want to do, I had one of those days today. I had to deal with the guy at work. He's just a freaking idiot, and I wanted to kill him. And I thought rather than using that all that pent-up frustration negatively, I'd go ahead and rant on a YouTube video. So, um, what I really wanted to talk to you today about was getting your house in order. And a lot of the guys that I deal with at work, the dumbass from today is not one of them. He's too stupid to realize that he's stupid. But a lot of the guys that are getting prepared, I think, are focused on guns and ammo, and rightfully so. I'm not discounting that at all. I'm just, I think one of the things that really in any good preparedness plan is probably just a focus on getting your shit together, getting your house in order, getting all those things that you've left unfinished, or that you put off, or that you don't really classify as preparedness related. Getting that stuff done. I mean, in a nutshell, preparedness really it's about stress, right? So, take for example losing your job. You lose your job. That's pretty stressful. I mean, after the initial shock and frustration and I guess disbelief, at least for me, the things that come to mind first are how am I going to feed my family, or what am I going to tell my family, or how am I going to find another job? And I'll tell you, if you can imagine, you get called into the HR office or your boss's office or whatever, and they tell you you're done, and they're going to pay you for the rest of the week. Take your stuff and go. Pretty stressful. So imagine now that you've got all your stuff in the box and you're doing the walk of shame. People are trying to talk to you, and of course you can't focus because you're trying to leave and you're probably being ushered out, and you don't really want to have long conversations. You're not feeling very talkative. And you get to your car and you realize that you're almost out of gas. And you think to yourself, shit, I got to go get gas now, and I have no income. Or you get to your car and maybe you got gas, and you go home and you think on the drive home of all the stuff you need to do. Updating your resume is a really good example. Can't get a new job without an updated resume, at least not a good one. And then of course, how long is it going to be before you find a job? And do you know a headhunter? Is your resume updated on Monster? Do you have any other contacts? And so really it's just getting your house in order, is just getting all those things knocked out that you could do on any given day that seem inconsequential, but in the bigger scheme of things are stressors when it really comes down to it. Kind of like putting fresh batteries in your flashlight, or putting your flashlight somewhere where you know where it is. That's something that, I'll do it tomorrow or the next day or the next day, till the lights go out, and then you got no batteries in the flashlight, and there's the stress level going up. And who knows why the lights are out. It could be a breaker, it could be a regional disaster, it could be an EMP, it could be aliens landing. I mean, you don't know. But it's all about stress. It's all about reducing the stress. So, I just mentioned an updated resume. Is your resume up to date? If not, you probably should get it up to date. Does it seem like a preparedness topic? No, it probably doesn't. But by the same token, when worse comes to worse, if you lose your job, what do you need? You need an updated resume. You need names and numbers and contact information for people that can help find you a new job. The same is true in a disaster. Is your flashlight got fresh batteries? Is your bug out bag or your stay-at-home bag or your generator got gas in it? Do your propane tanks need filling, or are they already filled? Think about all that stuff, and think about your will. Okay, we're talking about preparedness. We're talking about different stressors. What happens if your mom dies, or your dad dies, or your spouse dies, or one of your kids die? You are not going to be in a position to sit and think logically through this stuff. Just like your walk of shame out of the office, no, I didn't lose my job. It's just, I think, a really good example. Just like your walk of shame out of the office, there's going to be so many things swimming around in your head that you are not going to be able to adequately prioritize what you should be doing. So how do you react to that? You react with stress, more stress. So Make a list of that stuff. You know, your will. Do you have a will? Is it updated? What about your bills? Are there bills that you're leaving unpaid just because you don't feel like sitting down and doing them? Are there bills that you're leaving unpaid because you can't afford to pay them? That's a whole different discussion. But in my opinion, preparedness, it all comes down to stress. If you got stuff that right now is unfinished that you could sit down and spend 10 minutes doing, what's it going to hurt? I try to, out of force of habit, every day when I leave my house, fill up the vehicle with gas in the morning. That way when I get to work, I got a full tank. So that when it comes time to leave work, what happens if I get a call in the middle of the day and my wife ran to the emergency room with one of the kids because the kids fell and broke something, or is bleeding, or passed out, or choked, or the ambulance came and had to take the kid because something went wrong. I don't know. But imagine how stressful it would be if you're in the middle of work, you get the call, you throw your coat in your pocket, or excuse me, you throw your phone in your pocket, you run to the parking lot, you start the car up, and you got almost no gas because you thought in the morning, screw it, I'll get gas as I'm on my way home. Take the opportunity, take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes to do those things that you normally procrastinate and put off, because it may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, it may be never, hopefully. But at some point, you may find yourself in a situation where that one little 3-minute task that seemed inconsequential could save you, well, it could mean the difference between life and death, first of all, but secondly, it could save you untold amounts of stress. Anybody who's ever seen the movie Castaway, Tom Hanks and the whole tooth thing, he put off getting dental work done over and over and over again, and then he finds himself on a desert island and he's got to do his own surgery. I know that's a worst case, it's kind of exaggerated, but it really drives home the point, I think, if you think about it, of how much trouble he could have saved himself. So, guys, update your resumes, update your contact lists, make sure you got the wills. If you got medical procedures and you're putting them off just because you're squeamish, I got wisdom teeth that I put off for forever. I'm getting them done just because I don't want to have to deal with wisdom teeth in a high-stress situation.